ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of NPU Weekly, the weekly webcast show that brings you up to date with all the latest news in the world of North Park University athletics. I am your host, Kevin Shepke, and for this next brief, roughly about 15 to 20 minutes, we're going to bring you up to date on what's the latest going on with the winter sports teams, and a little bit of news going on with one of the fall teams, as like I said, that they had just concluded their season back in November, that being the men's soccer team. So looking at the sports that are currently on campus going on right now, both the men's and basketball, both the men's and women's basketball teams are off to a flying start already, as the men's basketball team is off to a 6-1 start. Since we last left you on December 1st, the Vikings had a 4-game winning streak after defeating Alma on December 3rd by a 72-71 score. They went on to defeat Kalamazoo College 61-47 December 6th, and backed that up with a victory 63-60, probably one of their closest games of the season so far, December 13th against Trine University, and just last night they earned an 84-59 victory over the University of Oshkosh. Vikings, in their 4-game winning streak since we last left you on December 1st, have been winning the games by an average of 10 points per game, and sophomore guard Juwan Henry is leading the team by a 21.0 points per game average, as well as 7 assists per game. And we actually have a slew of highlights from all those games this past week, or these past couple of weeks, since we last left you. So let's go ahead and show those highlights to you right now.
Jordan Robinson to Cobbs. Henry for 3, buried it!
Deep 3 there by Juwan Henry.
Colin Lake running the point for the Vikings. TJ Cobbs. Down low to Robinson. Nice feed from Cobbs. Robinson with his first 2 points. 8-2 Vikings.
Right between the legs there.
Juwan Henry off the glass. Can't get the fall, but the putback good by Hutchinson. Henry to Cobbs. Cobbs for 3. Nails it!
Great job by TJ Cobbs.
70-69 North Park. Cobbs inbounds to Lake.
Let's see, they're going to run this down as much as they can here, it looks like. Try and get something open as much as possible.
Henry with a pull-up. Can't get it to fall. Got it back. Juwan Henry got it with 3 seconds remaining. Juwan Henry.
They need to watch the quick 3 here.
Nikodemski to inbound. Gets it to Fairchild. His 3. Whoa! Go! Vikings win!
We're now joined by head men's basketball coach Tom Slater. Vikings coming off probably their closest win of the season, a 72-71 victory over Alma College. And Tom, I guess the biggest question is here, you guys, I don't want to say you guys escaped with this one, but talk a bit about how you guys were able to pull this one out tonight.
Well, it wasn't probably the closest win. It was the closest win of the year. So, but we did escape, and we had a couple guys step up and really make plays, make 2 big plays when it counted. I've coached a long time now. Victory never stinks, and you never take it for granted. And good teams, and I don't know if we can become a good team. I think we're on our way to maybe doing some of those things. And they find good teams like that find ways to win, and it's never pretty all the time. And I don't think with our group and with our size, it's always going to be pretty. And tonight was a night, what I'm most pleased about is our shots weren't going in early. Really early in the game, we got out to a good start. And then we relaxed. They kind of pushed back a little bit. And we had some guys missing some shots that normally go in. But I was just somewhat disappointed in our mental effort and how we took the floor tonight. Yeah. And it was very indicative of how we practiced the last couple of days. Now, the last time we did that was going into the Eureka game. I know we came out and practiced really well and took care of business against Illinois College. Hopefully we do the same thing coming into Saturday. But this group is young, and it's going to take a while for them to understand and to learn how to deal with success and, still continue to want to improve and not think that they've arrived yet. And I guess at this point in time, I think our guys want that and get it, and we're going to continue as coaches to kind of drive them towards that.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about what Juwan Henry and TJ Cobbs were able to do there at the last couple seconds, waning seconds of the game, to come up with big shots there. Talking about what they were able to do there at the end.
Well, TJ, I'm thrilled for TJ because Saturday he had probably his poorest game he's ever played, and he bounced back tonight. And to be put in that situation, to be wide open. Last year he couldn't have made that shot, and but he had the confidence this year to make that shot. He made a couple free throws before that and made some plays also, but to knock that shot down really kind of set up the end of the game situation, because they went down and scored, but if he doesn't knock the three down, they may be up 2 or possibly 3.
Right.
As it turned out, they were only up 1. In Juwan's case, I mean, we got the right player taking the shot,
Right.
and he missed the shot and got knocked backwards and fell down, and I told our coaches, I mean, there's a lot of guys that would have just laid on the floor, and he got the rebound laying on his back, threw it, got the ball back, had the poise to go up and make the shot, and he didn't shoot well tonight, but he was 1 for 1 when the game was on the line, so that's a big shot.
Right. All right. Well, thanks so much, Tom, for taking the time, and we wish you guys best of luck on Saturday.
Go Vikings.
The North Park's got to get to the board, though. Great job by Colin Lake to get the steal there.
Colin Lake with an open arm.
Lake's steal was actually surprising there because Kalamazoo doesn't really turn the ball over at all this year. They're averaging less than 2 a game.
Three-pointer for Juwan Henry. 3 left on the shot clock. Schwartz drives, can't get it to fall, and is rebounded by Henry. Up the floor to Robinson. Off the glass for 2. Colin Lake takes the 3. Nothing but net.
We're now joined by head men's basketball coach Tom Slider of the North Park Vikings. North Park coming off a 61-47 victory over Kalamazoo College here on Saturday afternoon. Coach, looking at the stat sheet here, what do you think is probably the biggest glaring stat that sticks out to you that helped the Vikings able to get this victory?
61 points more than them. Okay, I mean that was a grinded out game really, and there's nothing. Usually with teams that play that kind of style, it's pretty. But a little more on a serious note, they shot 26% the second half, and that really was the difference. I mean, they scored 16 points in the second half. I think that had something to do with changing up defenses a little bit. Our guys kind of dug in a little bit defensively, and as a result, I think they kind of squeezed some shots out and started pressing a little bit. So I think it was a little combination of the two. But anytime you hold a team to 26% in the second half, you ought to have a good shot.
What do you think was the biggest adjustment you guys made in the second half? You guys down by 2 points at halftime. What do you think was the biggest adjustment you guys made for that second half push?
Well, we switched up defenses a little bit. We had a little difficulty with the high ball screen that they ran in the first half, where they were turning the corner and getting the ball deep into the paint and scoring. And so we kind of changed up how we handled that a couple of times. In no way am I going to tell you exactly how we did that if people are watching this. But our guys made the adjustments, and that turned out to be a good thing for us.
Talking about what Jordan Robinson was able to do, 12 points, 12 rebounds, double-double for him, as well as Juwan Henry, 21 points, 5 rebounds, and Colin Lake as well, is what those guys were able to do for you guys tonight.
Well, in Jordan's case, Jordan got in foul trouble in the first half, so great testimony to him to come back the second half and have the kind of half that he had. I think he had, even though he only played 10 minutes in the first half, he had 8 rebounds, 8 of his 12 rebounds in the first half. So. And he really even struggled early shooting, but he can get it going. He can score in bunches. I mean, Juwan, 21 and 7. I mean, he's becoming a consistent 21 and 7, 21 and 8 guy, which is pretty amazing. And we didn't score as many points today, which got him up and down the floor, but that's what was required to win the game. And we're not totally interested in stats. We're totally interested in the outcome of the game. So. And in Colin's case, Colin also struggled a little bit from the field, but late in the game he's making free throws, and we had freshman and sophomore on the floor to end the game, and the lead just kept getting bigger. So we're pretty pleased.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks so much, Tom, for taking the time, and we wish you guys the best of luck next Saturday.
Go Vikings.
Henry on the near wing into Robinson. Nice lob, and Robinson finishes. 2-2. Into the corner to Cobbs. He pulls up. Can't get the long baseline jumper to go, but the offensive putback is good by Michael Hutchinson to tie the game at 4. update you on the schedule in a moment as the pull-up is good for Jawan Henry. Blake, not one of them. Oh, nice look underneath by Henry. Robinson off the glass and in. North Park leads by 1 with 5:37 to go. Stolen ball, and here's Cobbs. Off the glass and in. Michael Hutchinson stole the ball at midcourt. Jawan Henry, 8 left on the shot clock. Henry, 2 seconds left. Henry's got to take a very long three and buried it!
We're now joined by assistant men's basketball coach Cordell Henry of the North Park Vikings. North Park coming off a very close victory today, 63-60 over Tryon University. And Coach, what do you think was probably the biggest thing for you guys in success to victory today?
Just guys made stop at the end. The rebounding margin was 40-27. Tryon was a very good team coming in, a real hot team, and our guys just buckled down and made plays when they had to. And our bench played an outstanding game as well.
Mm-hmm. Talking about what Jawan Henry was able to do, 21 points, 5 rebounds, but more importantly, he had 5 assists, a block, and 2 steals. Talk about what he was able to do today.
Well, Jawan has become a complete player. It's more than just putting points on the scoreboard. He's making everybody around him better. He's rebounding, getting blocks, and getting steals. And he's just, it's you're a young player like that, you have to evolve, and sometimes it takes time. But Jawan is really buying in to what Coach Slider is having him, to what he wanted him to be.
Mm-hmm. It was a close game at halftime, 25-27. What do you think was probably the biggest adjustment you guys made in that second half to hang on for this victory?
We knew it was going to be a run. Basketball's a game of run. We had a great advantage in the beginning of the game. Mm-hmm. And they made plays and just staying together. Like I said, this is just staying together.
You guys got UW Oshkosh now coming up on Monday. What's the game plan for that?
The same as always. We're going to scout. We already watched film. Got a scout report. Just sticking to the game plan. That's pretty much about it. And just our focus. Keep working on our focus.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much, Cordell.
I'd say, just an unbelievable, solid performance for the Vikings so far this season, as they now will be returning to action this Wednesday night. They'll be traveling to Hyde Park to take on the University of Chicago for a late game starting at 8 p.m. that evening, and then they will be returning home on Saturday to host St. John's University for a standalone 4 o'clock game that afternoon. Looking at the other teams on campus, the North Park women's basketball team is doing an equally as impressive job in their season so far. If not for a tip basket 68-66 defeat that they had earlier in the year to UW La Crosse, the Vikings would have an unblemished 8-0 record. But the Vikings are currently 7-1 right now. Since December 1st, they've gone on a 3-game winning streak. They defeated the University of Dubuque out in Iowa by a 76-65 score on December 5th. Then later came back to defeat the Illinois Institute of Technology 87-46 December 8th. And then just last night had their biggest victory of the season, a 92-52 victory over Blackburn College. Sophomore Liz Rayberger continues to lead the team with a 16.1 points per game average. And the Vikings have been winning their games by an average of 30 points per game. So just an unbelievably strong start to the season for head coach Amanda Crockett. And although the Vikings were on the road for most of those games, we do have a little bit of some highlights from last night's game against Blackburn. So let's go ahead and show that to you right now.
Low post kick out, swing around to Andy Shane from the corner. Nothing but net on that triple. Davis for 3. Got it. Amani Davis. And it's stolen by Torres. Torres steals the inbounds pass. Nice pass underneath to Shebeswowski for the layup. 11-0 Vikings. Brianna Ray does such a terrific job of getting up and down the floor. But the ball is stolen by Davis. Torres off the glass, can't get it to go, but Davis right there for the putback. 51-24 North Park. Back up top to Danae Smith. Stolen by Nikki Shebeswowski. Her layup is good. Pass up top is stolen by Rayberger. Shebeswowski ahead to Rayberger. Her layup off the glass and in. One either, and Matthews rebounded for the Vikings. Krockman off the glass and in. Up top to Shaylee Sloan. Sloan's turnaround in the lane, rattled off the glass and in. Nice job by Shaylee Sloan.
So, yep, just the Vikings just off to a flying start, and they will be traveling to Trinity University down in San Antonio, Texas this weekend, and we'll be taking on the Tigers out there for a 7 p.m. contest on Friday, and then we'll be finishing up a tournament out in Trinity on Sunday. So, and then they do not return home until December 30th when they host St. Mary's University as part of a doubleheader with the men's basketball team at 2 o'clock that afternoon. Looking at the other winter sports that are on campus, the North Park men's and women's track and field teams were slated to start their season on December 5th, but unfortunately some things fell through for them on there, unfortunately, and they were unable to compete at the Tryon University Invitational, so they now will not be returning to action until after the new year when they go to the Carthage College Invitational on January 17th up in Kenosha. So that is the latest on the track and field team. And the only other team that has been making news lately is the North Park men's soccer team, and fresh off that NCAA appearance for the Vikings and their 12th straight season of 10 or more victories, the Vikings had 3 NSCAA All-Central Region selections to the All-Central Region team for the 2014 season, as Frederick Grafe, Peyton Tommy Mosele, and Diego Lashley were named to the team. So we want to congratulate those 3 players on an outstanding season, both athletically and academically for the Vikings, and for the solid season that the Vikings had all around. So once again, this has been a quick edition of NPU Weekly. We hope that you enjoyed today's webcast of NPU Weekly. As I said, we'll be coming to you over the holidays and over just winter break the winter season and the spring season on a bi-weekly basis. So we will be back in 2 weeks again. So until then, my name is Kevin Shipke, and go Vikings!